So I'm here with Rami, owner of the Survey School. And, really quickly, how much money have you made the last 12 months on school?
So, yeah, in the last 12 months, we've done $113,000 for basically the year that we've been operating. So, roughly $10,000 a month.
Nice. And so obviously people don't know you. So for those people who don't know you, what type of creator are you? What type of niche do you have? And like what's kind of your origin story? Like why'd you start making content? Like why'd you kind of start getting into educating people?
Yeah, so my background is actually land surveying and geodetic engineering. Very, very technical based. And I actually started getting into content creation and making videos on YouTube through teaching at the university. So I'm also a PhD student and I'm a teaching assistant for the Introduction to Survey course at Ohio State. So one of the reasons that I needed to kind of change the way I was teaching was COVID prevented us from being able to lecture on campus, but they granted us the ability to do labs, outside. So I needed to find a way to deliver the information to my students without actually having a classroom to do it in. So that's when we kind of started making videos about the fundamentals of surveying and the labs that we would be doing. And I made them in a way that watch them. You didn't have to be a Ohio State student taking the survey class. You could be
Hmm.
anyone from anywhere that and be interested in surveying. And so those videos blew up. And so I was like, wow, there's actually a need here. So then what I started doing is posting content about my research, the work that I was actually doing, for my PhD. And those videos got hundreds of thousands and millions of views. So that's really when my channel took off and I started building this survey community. Right now we're sitting at 80,000 subscribers and over 5 million views. And it was like I was being approached constantly about mentorship and about consulting and just working with people, whether they wanted to be like a student of mine or they wanted me to be like an advisor to their work. And that's kind of where the survey school came into play. We needed a platform to kind of organize everything, to put our courses together, to build a community of like very like-minded people that are all going down the same trajectory together. And so the survey school now has over 100 students, and a lot of them are working professionals, people in the drone mapping industry, civil engineers, actual professional surveyors. They're just looking to connect with others. And so our community continues to grow, and we're probably larger than most survey programs at universities. So it's quite rewarding, and I love doing it.
That's super cool to see like this you said in a few sentences, but it was really years of you doing different things. And before
This
we
was a
talk about the
long
survey
time.
school,
Yes.
yeah, like
Absolutely.
literally just 12 months ago, you said people were approaching you and asking for like consultations. And I know that's something you did, as well as like you made a one-off course. And like, how was that like? And why did you choose to try something new?
So I've been asked for years to take a course or courses, or to be, a consultant for a project. And I did the one introduction to survey course on my own. And the problem I had was genuinely just I felt like I was just selling an asset, right? I'm selling a course. People would take it, they'd be done with it, and then that was it. There was nothing more to do, and I would just make another course. And that wasn't a problem. I could make more courses, but the issue was I wasn't connecting with people. I wasn't providing any kind of real value. And quite frankly, I mean, a lot of the course material is on my YouTube channel. Like I made videos for years
Hmm.
talking about how to do surveying. I mean, most people will be like, well, I could just watch his YouTube videos. I don't need, to take this course. And they're right. That's kind of when I needed to shift and go
Hmm.
towards a more community-based learning where every day there's something new. Every day there's some kind of project that someone's working on. We can work on doing things together as a group, partnering with, companies to give them free resources like hardware and software or free conferences, stuff like that. That's really, in essence, what I wanted to kind of give back to those who are involved in our community and providing so much value. A simple course just can't do that. So that's kind of the roadblock that I approached about a year ago. And when we started this, that's kind of what solved those.
Mhm. It's cool to see that you are obviously digging and loving the community model, but it wasn't like that in the beginning. It was kind of like this random girl approached you, said, "Hey, there's this thing called school. Do you want to give it a try?" And you're like, "Yeah." And so, then after a month of like putting stuff together, doing market research, we kind of launched it July 1st. We like literally 12 months in. Um, how long did it take to reach your first $10,000 month with this new idea of a community?
Yeah, we hit 10,000, I want to say 4 to 5 months, maybe less, maybe like 3 to 4 months actually. Yeah. I would
I
say
think
within
you
three to
mean
four months we
monthly recurring revenue. But like what was about the first 10, what was the first $10,000? How long did that
oh,
take?
my bad. No, the first $10,000, shoot, we got that within a month and a half, I would say. 2 months max. I mean, we hit our 10,000, we made $10,000 pretty quickly within the first 2 months. We had a large group of people join right away. It looked like they had been waiting for something like this. And for those that don't know the story, Valeria approached me and was like, "Hey, like I love what you're doing. I want to help you, and I want to do it in a way that maybe you've been struggling to trying to get to." And she laid out a plan and really kind of spoke to me. She knew exactly what I was looking for. She trusted that I had the knowledge and the technical influence on the industry, and I just needed some help on the back end, on the admin, so I can continue to focus on my surveying background and actually teaching surveying. So she took a lot of that weight off of me, and with that plan, within the first 2 months, we definitely hit $10,000. I mean, it was very quick. We saw results right away, and it was good to see that because that told me that my audience that I'd been building and nurturing for so many years is actually receptive and willing to work with, wanted this product. This was something that they've been asking for, so we were able to give it to them. And for us, it was great because we were able to start a new business together, and it's been great to have that.
Yeah, it's cool because I know you mentioned you had the courses and that wasn't really doing it for you, both like purpose wise. And it was cool to see that like you have been building an audience for a long time. So maybe you could have put anything out there and people would have bought it. But the cool part is like what you said, it's been more than that. We have celebrated our 12 months and you still have people from our original launch. So like that's crazy to see. And why do you
Hmm.
think students keep coming back? And it's kind of a two-ended question. Why do you yourself as an educator keep coming back to keep doing this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've built a brotherhood. I mean, when we went to Denver and we met a lot of these guys in person, I mean, it was a great time to see them. So much fun to hang out with them. And it's like we knew each other, right? We'd been talking to each other online for months. And it was I was I'm the professor and you're the student. I mean, we call them students because they're learning, right? And I'm a student too. I'm
Hmm.
ashamed of that. It's not a dirty word or anything like that. But in reality, they're members, right? They're members of a community that genuinely would not exist without them. And they all provide value. They all are in the community, answering questions or sharing their projects. And it's not just me, it's not like all the weight is on me. And the reason I keep coming back is I genuinely see the appreciation that these members have for the surveying industry. Um, this industry is it has struggled to attract new talent, and to see people that have come from all over in different industries, the VFX world, they come out of the military, and they find surveying and they find so much passion in it. I love seeing that. It's we keep doing what we're doing, and the fact that we've built this platform for these passionate, surveyors, really is the motivating factor. If you don't have a passion for what you do and you don't find people that are passionate about what you do, it's so hard to build a community. But we're grateful we don't have that problem. It's been very fun and engaging, and we have such great partners too. The companies that we partner with, the conferences that we're partnered with, they provide us the resources and opportunities that universities don't get. So we're very lucky to have that.
Yeah, it's cool to see that you mentioned it's because you've created this that you get that feedback that like what you're doing matters. It's not like going off into the abyss, into, just
Yeah.
YouTube where you get a couple comments. It's like yo, my life was impacted because of this. That's really cool to see. And I know like for those who don't know, 3 months in, we're actually working at a company, and 3 months in, things like kind of shifted in your life. And what was that like? Because I know it could have been really easy to been like, I'm gonna, focus on getting another job, but you didn't. So
Yeah.
why?
So what happened in August? So we launched the school in July. Literally August. I got an email, not a phone call, not someone that tapped my shoulder, just an email, and it said, your position here at General Motors will no longer be available. And essentially, they terminated me. So I got laid off from GM, and it was kind of crazy. We started talking in June, and we started like building this. And I was always like, this will be a great side business, right? Like I have my job at General Motors where I'm working with technology and I'm really applying the stuff that I've learned in surveying to the automotive industry. But then I also have the survey school, which I can just, work on after work or on the weekends. It's good to kind of just have like a side hustle. And I think at the time we had like maybe 20, 25 students. And I get laid off. And it was kind of a shock because in my mind, I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong. And, but then I realized like that that's just kind of how it is in the corporate world. You kind of just get no notice and you just let go. So that's kind of when I started weighing my options. Like, okay, do I go look for another job? Do I try to, fit into this corporate, shape, that I have to go into? Do I get back into the field and start doing traditional land surveying in the field? I have no problem doing that. It's just now I'm going to have less time for the school. Or do I go all in on the school, right? Do I really just put it all in and try to scale this and work every day on the school and make it the best that it could be? So I ended up choosing the last option, and I told Val, strap in. We're about to go hard on this. I am going to dedicate everything to the school. And now we've scaled to over 100 students. We went to the conference together. We've done so much now in that time. And I'm really grateful that I chose this path because I get to set my own schedule. I get to work on something that I'm very passionate about. I get to help people grow their businesses, grow their knowledge in surveying. And I continue to do the thing that I love, which is making content and teaching. And it really puts my PhD into a good position because I don't have to worry about, oh, well, when I graduate, I have to go find a job at a university. No, I'm teaching at my own school, and I'm doing it in the way that I think it needs to be done, the right way. There's no, bureaucracy that's going to dictate to me how I do it. I can just do it the way that I'm comfortable doing it and the way that I know the industry needs it to be done. So that's mainly, the benefit of this and why I'm grateful for it.
That's super cool. I know that's kind of why we clicked so instantly. We have a disruptive nature to traditional
Yes.
education, and
Yes.
you are like in it for real, and you see this, so it's super exciting how you have walked all of that and know the little crooks
Yeah.
that you can
Unfortunately,
fix.
yes.
It's just super cool. And I know you said earlier you were like it took around 5 months to achieve the $10,000 monthly recurring revenue. And
Yeah.
because you just kind of filled us in with what happened, how has that been like having that, you know, reliable source of income coming in?
Yeah, I mean, for us, I'm very lucky to have that income, especially when I lost my job, because I had started it, right? I think maybe if we didn't start it and that I lost my job, I would be a little more hesitant because I wouldn't know that, hey, does this work or not? We had started, and I told you within the first month I'd lost my job, so I seen like, okay, there's potential here. And then when it did grow to, over 10K a month, that's when I realized this is real and there is no ceiling to this. We could keep going. We'd have to implement new strategies, but at the end of the day, like there's more space to grow. There's more to do. The product works. When I look at our churn and I see how low it is, when I see the conversion rate and how high it is, and when I realize, hey, like there really is an interest here, and people are happy with it, and then I see that, hey, I'm paying my bills and everyone's happy. Okay, let's keep going. Like that's a motivator. That's a huge motivator. Knowing that it's working, nobody's upset, everyone's happy, and especially me, right? I have to make sure I'm happy doing this. If I'm not
Mhm.
happy doing this, then there's a big problem. But I'm excited. I'm so happy to do this. My wife's happy because food's on the table and the bills are paid. And the survey community is happy because they're getting a whole new set of resources thrown at them and they can actually grow with it. Um, I think it's a win for everybody.
That's dope. I like how you mentioned your wife, happy wife, happy
Happy
life.
wife,
And
happy life.
it's the
Yes,
same thing. It's like happy
always.
Rami, happy school. And so it's really cool that you mentioned the outsized returns because as humans, we don't often realize or can comprehend what outsized returns means until it
Hmm.
happens. And we're really easy to go into like a scarcity mindset, which you avoided. And that's super cool to see
Yeah,
that because you have that and low churn, you just keep stacking on top of each other for years to come.
right.
And I know that's kind of like an origin story. And so now that you have seen the 10K MRRs, I know you've actually probably traveled I think this last year was one of the years you traveled the most. Is that true?
Um, Between last year and this year, yeah, I have traveled a ton. Starting from
And
last year, I was in China, publishing research, and right after I came back from China is when I met you and we started the school. From then, I went to Germany. I've gone to London. I've gone to Dubai. I've gone to Prague. I've gone to, gosh, where else have I gone to? I'm trying to think like business travel too, because I've also done like personal travel,
all the
but
little ones that,
this is all
the
business travel.
Vegas, Denver.
Vegas, yeah,
Mhm.
Denver. Geez,
And
I
how was
mean,
that like, with having the school and having that,
oh, the flexibility is incredible
traveling and
because,
this?
yeah, I mean, I travel a lot for research purposes. I publish research at research conferences, and that's why I started the research competition at the school, so people can kind of learn what a PhD student is doing when it comes to research, and they don't have to go get a PhD themselves. They can just join our school, and I can walk you through the whole process, unlike how I had to figure it out, even though I went to a university. But I digress. The travel aspect of it is so flexible. Like I can work anywhere in the world. I was in Cairo attending a friend's wedding and we were doing the masterminds. It was like 11 p.m. over there. I just open up my laptop, I give my lecture, we have our discussion like as if I was here in Detroit. So I can be anywhere, whether it's business or personal travel, and I can take care of, the work that I need to do, communicate with students, and quite frankly, that's what I love about the school is that we've built it in a way that the students interact with each other and engage with each other through the community. The community is like the most important thing that you should focus on because when you have a strong community, um, nobody's ever bored. There's always something for someone to talk about or someone to talk to about. If you're traveling and you're a little bit busy between, countries, that's fine. But like even when you're overseas, you can still communicate with everyone. It's just like texting them, right? Um, so I love it. I think it fits my lifestyle very well, and I can continue to travel, publish research, and be where I need to be around the world.
That's super cool. It also
Yeah,
lets me do it too, so I love
yeah,
it.
that's right.
Uh,
Yeah, you were in
and
Japan. You went to Germany as well. Yeah, I mean,
I'm actually kind
yeah.
of curious. I know you said there, if you have a strong community, that's really all that matters. And it's funny because 12 months ago, it was like, where are the courses? How can we make better
Oh, I
courses? And
know.
like, so
I
we've
know.
learned so much together. What would you tell yourself like when you were just starting 12 months ago?
I would say while courses are very important, um, implementation is far more important. People join not because they can't find a course. Most of them can afford to go to university. Most of them can afford to take a community college course. It's they're looking for implementation. How can this benefit me? How can this material actually grow my business, grow my skill set, uh, you know, get me a promotion, whatever stage that, an individual's in or whatever path they're in. So implementation is like the hardest thing, especially in the surveying world. I mean, there's barely enough resources out there for courses, but far less material or an environment that they can talk to others and work with them. You go to Reddit, or you go to Facebook, it's like a mosh pit, it's a dead pool of just negative feedback constantly. No one's actually there to help you. Everyone's there to just anonymously troll each other. And what do you expect with a free platform, right? Social media can be like that sometimes. Whereas when you come here, it's a professional setting. People's names are displayed, their where they work, where they live, what they've done, a whole like portfolio of their involvement here at the school is just like available for you to see. And we meet together, we talk to each other. So it's truly a close brotherhood between us, you know. And I think that that's what's missing in the industry. So that's what everyone loves about it, and that's why our churn is so low. They come in, they find that that's what we're selling here. We're not selling courses. We're not selling, a get rich quick scheme. You know, no, it's a community of guys, and we're working together. We're doing research together. We're sharing our projects together, and we engage with each other. We travel together to conferences. Like that's what they're looking for. And a lot of them are just looking for that, and it's well worth the cost to be a part of our community.
Yeah, I definitely dig that because, in my eyes, this is like a solution to alternative education. And what that looks like is exactly what you described, the stuff
Yeah,
that school is missing, which is connection and,
right.
collaboration and
And look,
seeing the nuance.
if they need like accredited courses, I mean, we have so many university students, right? Guys that are like, hey, I need to go to university so I can get my survey license, but I want to be a part of the school because university is not teaching me the implementation. University is not connecting me with other students. I'm just by myself. And that's fine. We're a supplement now. And when they go to apply for a job and they were a part of the survey school, you know, we've got that workforce development that's missing in a lot of universities. They've actually gotten equipment from our, you know, suppliers and our partners. Hey, like free equipment that they're using that they're learning from that they can basically train with. And then when they go to apply for a job or if they go to start a business and, you know, provide services, they already have that experience and the gear that they need to fulfill the work that they need to do. So that's a huge leg up. Even if you're a university student, it's a huge leg up, you know?
Mhm.
And so that's what we encourage everyone to take a look at it and see.
That's super cool. And it's cool to see how after this whole time it comes very clear what the vision is, like you said, at workforce development, map tomorrow's world. And that's super cool. And I guess the last question is, would you recommend this to any other creators who have like an audience who are looking to provide education back?
Yeah, if you're in the, I'll speak to those that are like in engineering or technical field, right? Um,
Awesome, yes.
yeah, if you have a clear conscience, right? You genuinely love what you do. You genuinely believe your industry has a lot of opportunity, and there's a missing link between the young generation of potential engineers and the current workforce that exists. Like in the surveying world, the average age of a surveyor is 57 years old. Most high school students don't even know what surveying is. Like you see the big problem here. If you genuinely love the field that you're in, whether it's welding or mechanical or plastics, whatever, there's so many unique niches out there. And you think that you can fill that void and you can provide information and build a community, do it. You're doing your industry a favor, honestly, because none of these guys are figuring it out. This problem wouldn't have grown to where it's at right now if that someone had figured it out. No one's figured it out yet, right? In the surveying world, no one figured out how to bridge the gap between the young generation by mentoring them and bringing them the experience that the, you know, retiring generation has. You go to a survey conference now, it's like all old guys. It's all old guys in their 70s. It's like, where's the younger guys? Oh, they're in the corner over there. There's like three or four of them, right? Where's everybody? There should be at least 100 students here, right? And so I would say make sure your influence is great. You don't have to have a million followers. If you have just a consistent platform that you post on, or if you consistently post on a platform and provide value for people, um, you can build a community like the one I have. It's not the hardest thing in the world. It just really requires someone that has a clear conscience, someone who genuinely loves what they do and genuinely cares about the field that they're in. So I feel that way about surveying. I've dedicated my entire life to surveying, and I will continue to serve my industry. And right now, in my current phase of my career, I'm serving it through mentorship and through education. So if you think that that's the phase that you are in now, I definitely recommend you do it.
That's super cool. I love that.